we're going to create a series of new audio tracks. Okay, so we're going to have 6 audio tracks. New audio track, mono, new audio track. We can delete some of these later if we don't want them. But what we want to do is to move this music track to the second level so that this level is available for the audio that might be on some of these video files. I don't know if any of them have clips, but some of them might have audio. So then what we'll do here, it's always good probably to have this order where this would be reserved for the audio from the video. Sometimes the video will actually have 4 tracks. What I'm doing now is locking this track, and I'm going to lock this track. When you're working with music, if it's like a music video, or going over the entire film, which this is, you won't want to have you'll want to lock that track. Okay, so then the other thing is that I'm going to be bringing in various shots. You're going to bring these in however you want them. Let's start with the man is driving. Of course, this is going to be your call how you want this to be. And so basically I'm going to put a series of shots of him and his point of view in this track. Notice I'm just pulling them down, but you could, he's going along, maybe he's falling asleep. If we hold the Command key, what we can do is hit the overwrite or splice in button. So what we would want to do is to deselect all of these tracks so it's not interfering, and I would just do an overwrite. Okay, so he's falling asleep. Then there's this girl who's on the side of the road. Some of the tracks may be locked. We're going to overwrite the track. And of course, then what you can do is make some of this shorter by using the trim tools. So she's here, and there's going to be an explosion, so we might want to shorten her. There's a car on the side of the road, and so we'll put this, we'll scrub through, notice what the car is. Let's put this here. I'm going to put an in mark. We're going to do this. This is an explosion. What we want to do is to probably make a lot of these shots shorter. Anyway, bottom line, what you're going to do is to arrange these, and when the explosion happens, you're going to have a, there's a mirror shot when he drives by and he looks in the mirror. He sees the explosion from the rear view mirror, so you want to try to match that up. We'll just say from here, do an overwrite. He's driving by, and we see in the mirror. You can change the size here. So we see this mirror shot that's important to try to match up his point of view that he's going by. And then you'll make some adjustments as to where, and it comes out, and so there's more shots where you see him continuing. And so all of this needs to be a little bit shorter. Okay, so the explosion doesn't have to be quite so long. And you can see that my mouse is changing the size of this. I'm going to pull this back, and he's looking. You'll want to cut back to the car, so he's looking, and then we see him again. But meanwhile, right here, you're going to want to add into this. The whole point is that in this area, you're going to be adding another track, which is the explosion. And so you'll want to have the large explosion happening, and we're going to put that down on this track. So notice that I deselected all of these tracks. These are actually locked, but down here, let's deselect that track as well. What we want to do is to do an overwrite, so that the explosion, and we can see the waveform here. So you can see, you want to line this up with the explosion, and we'll pull this back, pulling it back with the trim tool here too. Trim, we don't need all that. And meanwhile, we have this audio. So what you're going to want to do with the audio here is to get the waveforms happening. You're going to want to have some mixing going on.